"You're not part of this family," my sister sneered, slamming the door shut. "Then enjoy the cold," I muttered, freezing their accounts and cutting off every lifeline they depended on. "My name is David, and I'm 35. Every December 24th since I got my driver's license, I've made the same 4-hour trek. No matter the chaos, work pressure, heartbreak, or travel hiccups, Christmas was non-negotiable. It was the one day I clung to the hope that my family still valued me, that the tension and uneasy silences didn't define us, that somewhere beneath it all, there was still affection. But last year, that illusion shattered like brittle ice. Everything started as usual. Frantic preparations, sleepless nights. I stayed up past midnight wrapping gifts I'd chosen with care for every niece, nephew, aunt, cousin, and even my sister, Rebecca. I went all out. Interactive toys, personalized gift cards tucked into handwritten notes, little things they'd mentioned casually months before. Things no one ever did for me. I didn't expect gratitude. I did it because I believed that if I kept showing up, kept trying, someone might finally see me. The drive was grueling. Roads slick with ice, hands gripping the wheel to stay steady. I pulled into Rebecca's driveway at 3:42 p.m., right on time for dinner. The house glowed warmly, cars lined the drive, and laughter spilled through the windows. For a brief moment, I felt lighter. It sounded joyful. I told myself the knot in my stomach was just anticipation. I stepped out, adjusted my jacket, and knocked. Rebecca opened the door. Her face wasn't warm or welcoming. It was a mocking smirk that stung like a jab. "Oh, you actually came," she said, tilting her head as if I were an uninvited guest. I blinked, confused. "Of course I did. I texted you last week," I said. She waved me off. "This is for family only, David," she said, her smile sharp enough to cut. Then she leaned closer, half closing the door. "Take the hint." The door clicked shut, leaving me on the porch, arms full of gifts, while the laughter inside carried on. I didn't knock again. I didn't shout or beg. I stood there, the cold seeping into my bones, and nodded to myself, as if finally hearing a truth that had been whispered for years. I turned, walked to my car, placed the gifts in the trunk, and started the engine. Before I hit the highway, my phone pinged. A text from Peter, Rebecca's husband. Why'd that deadbeat even bother coming? I stared, stunned. It was clearly meant for someone else, probably Rebecca. A cruel jab in a chain of them. In that moment, something in me broke, not with a crash, but with a quiet snap, like a thread stretched too thin for too long. My hands didn't shake, my heart didn't race. I smiled, a small, steady smile, because Peter, who once sobbed to me over beers when he lost his job, seemed to forget I'd been paying their utility bills for 8 months. And Rebecca? She forgot I co-signed their mortgage to secure a better rate. They thought I'd keep doing it forever. No boundaries, no dignity. They were mistaken. I pulled into a gas station lot, parked, and opened my laptop. Without a second thought, I logged into every account. Electricity, water, internet, even the family Netflix plan I'd been covering. One by one, I removed my payment details and disabled autopay. I revoked access to the Amazon Prime I'd shared without question. Then I started the process to remove myself as co-signer on their loan, slow but unstoppable. When I reached my apartment, my phone showed 14 missed calls. I ignored them. I took a long shower, heated up leftover pizza, and watched a Christmas Eve movie, feeling no need to fake a smile. It was empty, but peaceful, like I'd grown a spine without realizing it. By midnight, the calls hit 31, then 38, then 44. By 2 a.m., over 50. At 3:17 a.m., Rebecca texted, "We need to talk." I didn't open it right away. For once, I wasn't racing to fix their mess or save the people who made hurting me a habit. I sat on my bed, phone in hand, replaying years of silence, brushing off cruel remarks, convincing myself I was too sensitive when I overheard I wasn't successful enough, tough enough, or valuable enough. They were right about one thing. I wasn't needed. But now I'd show them how much I'd been holding up. They had no idea how deep my support ran or how much control I still held. I opened Rebecca's text. "We need to talk." No apology, no accountability, just a demand as if I owed her my time. I didn't reply, not out of spite, but because I couldn't respond without shouting. I needed distance, calm. More messages flooded in, from Mom, Dad, even my cousin Patrick, who only texts on holidays. All carried the same hollow tone, fake worry, subtle panic, no one owning up. Rebecca wrote, "Hey, sweetie, you left so early, you okay? Call me when you can. Think Peter's phone got hacked." Then another, "David, just call. It's Christmas." It was never about my pain, only their convenience. I'd been the peacemaker, the fixer, the one who excused their cruelty since I was 16. At 6:41 a.m., Peter left a voicemail. "David, that text wasn't for you, man. Just a joke between me and Rebecca. You know we care about you. Come on." The gas company said the payment failed. Rebecca's mom is here and the kids are freezing. "Call me back." I replayed it. "You know we care about you. That's what people say when they love what you provide, not who you are." It didn't feel like a victory, just a crossroads. I could return to the old pattern, accept half-hearted apologies or break free. I chose freedom. I made coffee and opened a spreadsheet, listing every way I'd supported them. Not to be spiteful, but to see it clearly. The mortgage cosign, utility bills, groceries, DoorDash credits for tough weeks, the vet bill for their dog, school supplies for their eldest, the camp deposit I paid without a thank you. The total, $18,000 over 2 years. A quiet drain I hadn't noticed, justified by lines like, "You're the only one who gets it," or "We'll pay you back soon," or "Just this once, please." The anger wasn't loud. It was sharp, fueling action. At 8:12 a.m., I texted Rebecca. "Lose my number. No rant, no drama, just the end." She replied instantly. "Wait, what? Call me. It's a misunderstanding. You're not seriously mad, right? It's Christmas." I almost laughed. I wasn't mad anymore. I was done. I called the loan company, starting the process to remove myself as co-signer. The representative was kind, explaining that with proof of their income and payment history, it could work. It wasn't instant, but it was moving. By 10:30 a.m., I'd cut off access to everything, streaming, shared emails, even their DoorDash. Then I emailed them the spreadsheet titled, "Your Financial Reliance," with no message, just dates, amounts, receipts. Then I blocked them all, phone, email, socials, even mom and dad, knowing they'd side with Rebecca as always. I needed silence. What they didn't know, what they forgot, was that their refinanced house wasn't in their names. It was in mine. 3 years ago, when Dad's pension collapsed, I stepped in, paid off the remaining mortgage, and placed the property in a trust for tax reasons and stability. They signed without reading. Thrilled the payments dropped and foreclosure was avoided. Uncle David, the hero. Now I was done playing hero. I didn't act immediately. I waited, letting the unpaid bills stack, their panic grow. Not to be cruel, but because I knew their game. Turn every crisis into a sob story, guilting others into help. Waiting ensured their actions, not mine, told the story. This wasn't vengeance, it was consequence. On December 27th, a high school friend, Michelle, posted a story, a screen recording of Rebecca's Facebook Live. I turned up the volume. Rebecca sat on her couch, crocodile tears in full display. "It's been a tough Christmas," she said, dabbing her eyes. "The kids don't get why the Wi-Fi's gone. Peter's been on hold with the utility company forever. It's just too much, you know? Family's supposed to be there." She stared at the camera. Not everyone is. Comments poured in, hearts, prayers, offers of gift cards, Venmo donations, even a request for their Amazon wish list. I sipped my coffee. No mention of me, no admission of their actions. Just performance, no truth. And it worked. On December 29th, Peter called from an unknown number. I let it go to voicemail. "David, I don't know what you're doing, but this is too far. The mortgage company called. They can't talk to me because you're still the owner. I thought we transferred everything years ago. You said it was handled. You can't ignore us. The kids have no heat. It's freezing. Be an adult and call back." His entitlement burned. They didn't just expect my help, they believed it was their right. That night, I reviewed the trust's lease clause, allowing tenant removal with 30 days notice for breaching verbal agreements or misuse. I had proof, texts, emails, even Rebecca's message asking me to hide my bill payments to save Peter's pride. I had evidence and scars, but I held off on the final step. This wasn't about destruction. It was about freedom. On January 2nd, Mom showed up at my door looking drained, eyes swollen, holding a paper bag. "Can I come in?" she asked. I hesitated, then stepped aside. She sat, hesitant, like she was preparing a speech she didn't want to give. I stood, silent. "I didn't know they treated you like that," she said softly. "I didn't realize how much you were doing." I stayed quiet. "They said you were overreacting, just emotional." I raised an eyebrow. "And you bought that?" She looked down. At first, then quieter. "Your dad and I talked. We're sorry. If you need space, we get it." She handed me a bag, kids' drawings, a glittery card from Rebecca. "We miss you. Come back." "They're struggling, David," Mom said. "They're hurting, maybe," I said. "But they weren't hurting when they mocked me, or when Peter called me a deadbeat." She flinched. "You raised her," I said. "I'm done raising them." She nodded, stood, and paused at the door. "You know they might lose the house?" I nodded. Maybe that's what they need to grow up. She left. That night, I started the eviction process. Not out of spite, but necessity. I gave them 30 days, filed everything properly, and waived their debts. I didn't want them homeless. I wanted us both free. The next morning, Peter and Rebecca showed up. Peter's eyes were bloodshot. Rebecca's face was bare, no fake smile. They stood like they'd just realized the fire they'd started. "We're not here to fight," Peter said. I raised an eyebrow but let them in. They moved cautiously like my apartment was foreign territory. Peter sat on the couch's edge. "We got the notice," he said. "We didn't realize how much we screwed up." I nodded, urging him on. "I thought you'd always be there," he said. "I took it for granted." "You didn't think," I said. "You knew, and you banked on it." Rebecca finally met my eyes, voice trembling. "We didn't mean to push you away." I tilted my head. Bold words from someone who shut a door in my face. She winced. "I thought you'd shrug it off. You're the strong one." I nearly laughed. "Not strong, exhausted, done pretending, done being invisible until you need cash or a bailout." Peter leaned forward. "That text was wrong. I can't undo it, but I'm sorry." His voice was raw, no charm. Rebecca pulled out the spreadsheet envelope. "We looked at everything," she said. "I didn't realize how much you did. I didn't want to." I stayed silent. They'd always known, but chose denial over decency. Rebecca's voice broke. "We told the kids we might move to my parents. Peter's taking extra shifts. I'm job hunting. We'll figure it out." Peter nodded. "You were right to cut us off. We didn't value you. We're not here to ask for anything, just to say it." They stood, heading for the door. Rebecca turned back. "I hope you find peace, David. You deserve it." They left. I stood alone, their words sinking in, the weight in my chest lifting. It wasn't the closure I expected. No pleas, no excuses, just acceptance. Maybe they'd change, maybe not. It wasn't my burden anymore. The next 30 days were quiet. No calls, no fights, no last-minute crises. Peter emailed once to confirm the move-out. I sent a formal reply. On January 31st, the property manager confirmed. House empty, keys returned, utilities off my name. I stared at the email. 3 years, $18,000, countless slights, and ignored efforts. Done. I didn't share it or celebrate. I closed my laptop, poured a drink, and let the silence settle. That weekend, I drove to the coast alone. No obligations, no guilt. I walked the beach, wind biting my face, and sat by the cliffs with a journal I hadn't touched in years. I wrote, "You don't have to earn love that should be freely given." It hit hard. 3 months later, a card arrived. No return address. Inside, a photo of my nieces with a sign. "Thank you, Uncle David, we miss you." Rebecca's handwriting. "We're managing. Not perfect, but okay. Thanks for making us grow up. Love from afar." I smiled. No tears. Closure wasn't a big fight or apology. It was walking away, knowing their weight wasn't mine to carry. I tucked the card in a drawer and kept living. My new life, with boundaries, where my value wasn't tied to what I gave or endured. I never made that Christmas drive again. That year I stayed home, exactly where I belonged. So, what are your thoughts on this story? Do you agree with what happened or do you see it differently? Let us know your opinion in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any of our upcoming stories. See you in the next one.